Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of Your Polyglot Academy. Today I'm going to start a new series on how to learn French in 50 days with SMO. And while I will present to you this method step by step, I will also continue making videos about how to learn German. Now today you will watch the first two lessons, so let's get into it. Now, firstly, we're going to start with the first lesson and with the dialogue in French. Now make sure to listen to it twice. Ready? Let's go.
Première leçon.
Comment allez-vous?
Bonjour Jeanne. Comment allez-vous?
Bien. Et vous?
Ça va très bien, merci. Je vous présente ma fille, Chloé.
Bonjour, Chloé. Comment ça va?
Première leçon.
Comment allez-vous?
Bonjour Jeanne. Comment allez-vous?
Bien. Et vous?
Ça va très bien, merci. Je vous présente ma fille, Chloé.
Bonjour, Chloé. Comment ça va?
Here's a translation of the text. First lesson. How are you? Hello, Jean. How are you? Well. And you? Very well, thanks. Let me introduce my daughter, Chloe. Hello, Chloe. How are you? Now, following that, here are some remarks that need to be mentioned in order for you to understand the dialogue better. Now, these are simply some notes on the words used in the dialogue. First note is about bonjour, which literally means good, bon, and day, jour. It can be used as the equivalent of good morning, but also as a formal way of saying hello throughout the day until around 6 p.m. Now, the second remark is on aller, which comes from the irregular verb aller, to go. The verb used to inquire about someone's health or well-being, instead of to be in English, how are you? Now, aller is the form used with a formal address for you, vous, when speaking to people other than close friends or family. Va is the third person singular, he, she, it of aller. So you would use il va, elle va, on va for the third person. And présenter means to present, but in this context, to introduce. Je vous présente is the equivalent of may I introduce or I would like to introduce, etc. And now finally, comment ça va? How are you doing? Is equivalent to comment allez-vous, but slightly more familiar. Here, Jean, the female equivalent of the masculine forename Jean, is talking to a friend's daughter, so she uses a less formal phrase. And finally, here are two exercises on the topic now on this lesson. In the first exercise, you're required to translate 5 sentences.
Exercice 1. Traduisez.
Bonjour. Comment allez-vous?
Ça va très bien.
Comment ça va, Jean?
Je vous présente ma fille.
Chloé va très bien.
So these are the 5 sentences you should translate. And then you have the second exercise. Here you should fill in the missing words. So you have a sentence in English and you should fill in the missing words in French. Now, have you understood everything? I hope that is the case. And please make sure you write your answers in the comments so that I can correct them and give you a feedback. Now, I hope that you understood everything, and I will continue with lesson number 2. So as before, we're firstly going to start with the dialogue in French. Make sure to listen to it twice. Again, ready? Let's go.
Deuxième leçon. Le café.
Monsieur, madame, vous désirez?
2 cafés et 2 croissants, s'il vous plaît.
Non. Je préfère une tartine beurrée pour le petit déjeuner.
Donc, 2 expressos, 1 croissant et une tartine?
Oui, c'est ça. Le croissant est pour moi et la tartine pour elle.
Deuxième leçon.
Le café.
Monsieur, madame, vous désirez?
2 cafés et 2 croissants, s'il vous plaît.
Non. Je préfère une tartine beurrée pour le petit déjeuner.
Donc, 2 expressos, un croissant et une tartine?
Oui, c'est ça. Le croissant est pour moi et la tartine pour elle.
Now that you listen to it, here's a translation of the text. Second lesson. Die Kaffee. Sir, Madam, would you like? 2 coffees and 2 croissants, please. No, I prefer a slice of buttered bread for the breakfast. So, 2 espressos, 1 croissant, and 1 slice of buttered bread? Yes, that's right. The croissant is for me and the bread for her. Now, following that, again, here are some remarks that need to be mentioned so that you can understand it better. On the first one, this is the easiest way you can ask a question in French. Use the affirmative vous désirez, you want, but with a rising intonation at the end of a sentence. So something like vous désirez. Second remark, un café is both a beverage, a coffee, and also the place where you drink it, a café. So if you order un café in France, you will get a shot of espresso without milk, which is also called an expresso or an express. On the third remark, although s'il vous plaît, if it pleases you, may seem very formal, it really isn't. It just means please, and it's also used every day in France. Now on the fourth remark, une tartine beurrée, or simply une tartine, is a slice of buttered bread, a very popular breakfast alternative to croissant. Now beurré is the adjective formed from le beurre, butter. In this sentence, it kind of agrees with the noun une tartine, which is feminine. So we add another E at the end of the adjective. So you're not going to have simply beurré, but beurré with an E, so that you can understand that the noun is feminine or that it is referring to a feminine noun. But more on the question of agreement later in further lessons. Now on the fifth remark, les déjeuners means lunch, so le petit déjeuner, so literally small lunch, is breakfast. Logical. And on the sixth remark, you should note that all French nouns have a gender. They're either masculine or feminine. Now, a masculine noun is indicated by the articles en or le, est or the, and a feminine noun by une or la. Now, whenever you learn a new noun, please make sure you learn its gender. Note also that French does not have a separate word for one. So, un café can mean a coffee or one coffee, depending on the context. And finally, if you understood everything, make sure to check out these exercises. Now, as I already said before, in the first exercise, you're required to translate some sentences.
Exercice 1. Traduisez.
Je préfère un croissant pour le petit déjeuner.
Un café, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, c'est ça.
La tartine est pour elle.
Et l'expresso est pour moi.
So these are the first 5 sentences. And if you do it, continue with the exercise number 2, where you should fill in some missing words. You have 5 sentences in English and you should fill in the right missing words in French. And please, if you would like some solutions, make sure to also write in the comments your answers and your solutions so that I can correct them and so that you can get a feedback whether you understood the topic or not. And now, as always, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. These were the first 2 lessons from my course on how to learn French in 50 days. So you're still going to need other 98 lessons in order to complete your journey, but it's only the beginning. Don't give up. Continue, do a little bit every day. And if you don't come along with 2 lessons, then 1 lesson is also enough. Now, other than that, I hope you have a nice evening and see you soon. Goodbye.